Whoa! Hello, this is Miles from Snowbrains, and today I wanted to go over what I have on my body and in my pack when I'm heli-ski guiding. I've got a lot of questions about what I've got on me, what I'm using, and what's in the pack. Because the pack is heavy, and I kind of bitch about it in a lot of the clips. But I'm getting used to it, and I think I've got some new core exercises that'll help me for next season. So we just ended the season here at Pulseline Adventure in Valdez, Alaska. I had an awesome season, skied some great terrain, and it was a new experience skiing with this pack. So let's go over it really quick. So let's go over what I've got in my pocket. So of course I've got my helmet, I've got my goggles, jacket, pants, skis, boots, poles, bindings, all of that on, which weighs quite a lot. I weigh 165 just naked, and then with all of my gear on, I weigh about 230. So I have a huge amount of gear on my body. So I've got 65 pounds of gear on my body. So we'll go over it. So in my jacket, in my upper left pocket, or my upper right pocket, I keep my Instagram 360. This is the helmet camera that I use. Or sorry, Insta360, the helmet cam I use. So this is in my pocket, and I've got some flagging. So this is stuff that we'll use to flag. We'll put these on sticks and put these in the snow so that the helicopter can see the ground, especially if the light gets flat. And this is biodegradable, which is great. So I've got these two things in this pocket. I keep my phone, which I'm filming with right now, in my right pocket. Phone is really useful for a lot of different things, including mapping where I'm out there skiing. And then in my little season pass pocket right here, I keep these earplugs. And I basically keep my right earplug in all day, and I take this one in and out as I get in and around the helicopter. So those are those things in the jacket pockets. Oh, and then I also have a huge Tate radio that's like $1,000 and feels like it weighs 10 pounds. So that also I keep in my pocket. I string the cable over my shoulder, and then I have the mic right here. Then on my lower body, of course, I've got my harness on, and I keep on my harness just what I need to get out of a crevasse. So if I fell into a crevasse, we're not wearing ropes when we ski, when we're heli skiing. So if I fell into a crevasse in a glacier, I'd be able to get myself out. I also have an ice screw in case I do need if I fall in a crevasse, I can put an ice screw in the wall and clip myself to that. And then I have about 5 carabiners. I have a tib lock as a traction device. I've got 2 more Perux 6 as traction devices. I've got a sling, and I've got a micro traction machine right here. So, and I know how to use this stuff to get myself to Jumar, to jug myself out of the crevasse. So that's what I'm wearing on my hips. In my left pocket, I've got my beacon. So Avalanche Beacon in the left pocket. In my left cargo pocket on the side here, I've got my guide notebook. So I'm writing down what runs we're doing, who my group is, snowpack information. If I dig and make a pit, I'll write down all the information I get there. And anything else that comes up during the day that's important, make sure to write that down. Important to have as a guide. And then in my right pocket on my hip, I've got an extra battery for the Insta360 camera, and this is keeping it nice and warm too against my thigh. I've got 2 drop washers, so we'll drop these out of the helicopter on a day when the light's really bad and we need to land somewhere. So I can drop this out of the helicopter. It sticks in the snow, stays in the snow because it's quite heavy, and then this will be visible for the helicopter. And again, these are biodegradable. So I've got 2 of those. And then in my right cargo pocket, I have a list here of all the important numbers, other helicopter operations, emergency rescue people, and more on this list, important list. And then I always have sunscreen and chapstick in that pocket. I find it's really important to have sunscreen when you're out in the backcountry, just in your pocket, ready to go. I put it on almost every single run. We get so much sun, you're just in these big solar amphitheaters. You get cooked if you don't have this stuff. So that's what's in my pocket. Now, let's get into what I've got in the big pack. So to start off, I've got this Scott E40 backpack for helicopter skiing, and I am using the Alpine airbag system. So the reason I'm using this pack is it's got a super capacitor. It is so that I can basically pull this multiple times. I can check it onto any plane anywhere. I don't have to discharge and recharge the canister. So I highly recommend getting an electronic airbag system. And this pack's worked great for me. This is a 40-liter version, which is just enough. I almost could use a couple more liters with everything I've got going on here. And the only thing that I have strapped on the outside is I have one of these BCA Link radios. So this is what I use to communicate with the clients. And again, I have a big fancy Tate $1,000 radio that I use to communicate with the dispatch and other guides with the guide service in general at Pulseline. So we'll just kind of start at the top here. So if I opened up this shallower pocket, I have right away, I've got extra pair of gloves. I've got a ball cap. That's just kind of personal if we ever do have some downtime. It's just nice to have something to keep your face out of the sun. So ball cap's good to have. I do have another pair of gloves that are thin and light when it gets warmer. I've used these a couple times and they're just nice to have. This, I'm not going to get into it, but this is a big tarp. It's made by Alpine Threadworks. So this is what I would use as a rescue sled. So it's designed specifically to put a injured patient on and be able to tow or lower them down a mountain, pull them across the flats, whatever. It's also quite large, and it makes also a small dome that you could fit probably about 4 people inside of. I found a better strategy is actually to dig a bit of a square in the snow, line your skis on top of that, and then put the tarp on top of the skis. So basically you use the maximum size of the tarp, which I want to say is like 10 by 6, and it would make a pretty decent roof to a quick shelter if you had to stay the night. So multi-purpose here. It's a tarp, it is a shelter, and it's a rescue sled. Very good to have, and pretty light. Alpine Threadworks, great company out of Canada. And what else down here? Oh, and then I've got another set of goggle lenses, just in case anything happens to the lenses I've got on. And then we'll get into some more, a little bit of the nitty gritty here. So in this pocket here, I have a big mesh pocket. I'm just keeping some handy items. So I like to keep a multi-tool. This is a Leatherman's. It's got a knife and a pliers and all kinds of things. It's quite common for repairing gear, especially for clients out in the field. So I've got a little bundle of I was going to say toilet paper, of duct tape here. Duct tape always valuable to have. I have got one little gauze pad in case somebody got hurt. I needed to stop some sort of bleeding quickly. So I've got that easily available. I've got a headlamp. Always have a headlamp. This thing weighs nothing. This is a Petzel. It's a little Petzel. I'm not sure what kind, but great, really lightweight. Love having that with me. And then I've got a kind of a scraper card. I use this most often to scrape ice off the base of people's skis, especially in helicopter skiing. We're going from low elevations to high, so we're changing temperatures really quickly. And snow often sticks to the bottom of your skis, top of your snowboard. And I can use this to scrape off. Also, this is a great tool for when I'm digging pits. I'll slide this through the snow, try to find layers and crust layers. And then this also helps you define a lot of the different systems and tests and symbols that we have for snow crystals. And it also has a sizing. So this is 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, especially if you find facets, big chunks of snow. You can figure out what size they are quite quickly and easily with that. So I find that's a good thing to have. And then ski straps. So I've got tons of these. There's 3 in here because I like to have a few that are really quickly available. So I've got a few ski straps, and I have more in my rescue kit. I have a lighter. I feel like it's good to have a lighter handy and for emergencies. And this is actually a piece of really thin cord, maybe 3 millimeter. And the idea is that that would be used to make an extended column test. So basically a type of snow pit test that tests for propagation of a snowpack. So if you did have sensitivity or instability in the snowpack, you could find out how much or little might that propagate. But also it's just nice to have a piece of cord. I could cut this into other pieces. This could be good for repair. And I'd be happy to sacrifice this in that case. And I've got one other little pack here, little pocket here. So I always keep a few snacks. We generally get a pretty nice lunch when we're out heli-skiing. But when I'm in the backcountry, I usually don't eat more than this in one day, to be totally honest. So I got some energy blocks here from Cliff Bar. These are both Cliff products. Cliff Bar recently dropped me as an athlete, so if you know anybody that wants to send me some food, let's talk. So I've got shot blocks, which I love, and I got the Builder Bar with 20 grams of protein. I like these a lot. Both are, to me, very edible in the backcountry when I'm hungry or not hungry. And I've got a pair of sunglasses. Sunglasses, always good. Good backup, too, if anybody loses a pair of sunglasses or their goggles while they're out there. And then I've got an extra set of batteries. Sometimes I bring more, but here I've just got one set of 3 AAAs in case somebody needs them for their beacon, or if we're in a situation where we need to make sure we have light, maybe somebody's lamp would go out. And then I've got the Proxim sodium and ibuprofen because I've had a bit of a bad knee this year, so it's good to have drugs on call. And then this is an emergency candle. This will burn for 9 hours, and this actually goes with a cup. So the idea here is if I ended up in a situation where I had to spend the night overnight, I could make water for myself and my guests. And that's everything that's in that pocket, and I'll show you the cup for that in a minute. So that's everything in the exterior pocket. I'll get into the interior pocket now. So I've got a huge puffy jacket. So this is, I call this the insulated trash bag. This one's issued to us, and it is really warm, breaks the wind, really huge. It's an extra large. And the idea there is I can put that on over all my layers quickly, and that's really key. So having a big extra layer, and in general, I'm wearing a base layer, a micro puff jacket, and my shell every day here. And there have only been, I think, 2 days in the 2 months I was here that I took the puffy layer off. But also on those 2 days, I ended up putting it back on before we left the field that day. Water, I usually drink a lot of water before I go out there, and I'll keep about a ½ liter of water on me, and then I'll keep water in the helicopter. So we're not short for water, but it's good to always have some water on you, which is just smart. Let's find that cup. So here's the cup. So here's the idea, is we'd be able to rig up this candle, which can burn for 9 hours, and I've got a cup, scoop snow in this, and I can make water. So if I do end up stranded out there, I've got all the things I need to survive. I've got shelter, I've got water, I've got extra insulation, and hopefully that would be enough. A rope. This is a Rad Line from Petzel. So this is I forget now, I think it's a 6 millimeter, really skinny static rope. It's made special for crevasse rescue, more or less. So this is the rope I bring in. This is 30 meters long, which hopefully is enough to get somebody out of a crevasse who falls into a crevasse. And I think the 80 or 90 years of combined guiding experience that our lead guides have at Pulseline, they've had 1 crevasse rescue between all of them. So not too frequent, but we have to be prepared for that situation. So I've got a Rad Line. And to continue on that, in this fancy bag here, I've got the rest of my crevasse rescue kit. So I've got, in addition to the things I showed you, I have 5 carabiners, a micro traction device, a tib lock, a couple of prussiks, and a sling and an eye screw that I wear on my harness as I'm skiing. Then I also have another carabiner. I only bring locking carabiners, by the way. I don't see the point personally to bring non-locking. So I've got a empty carabiner here. I got another carabiner with a big cordelette on it. Obviously I have this sling holding it all together. Another carabiner with another sling. A carabiner with which I don't necessarily need, but I do have a rappel device. This doesn't really work with my Rad Line, to be honest. But good to have. And then I have another cordelette and another prussik, another carabiner. So what is that in total here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 10 carabiners. So I probably have a couple too many, but I like having a couple too many when I'm out there. So crevasse rescue kit, the rest of my crevasse rescue kit, fancy bag. I've got a medical kit here. I'm actually not going to go through all the things that are in my medical kit. What I would advise is get yourself, this one's quite small, get yourself a good medical kit if you don't have one. And I'm actually going to order a new one because I've used a few things in this year, including Benadryl. Had somebody get a rash. This has lots of Band-Aids, lots of gauze. It's got ibuprofen, it's got Benadryl, it's got medical tape, it's got ace bandage wraps. I've got a CPR mask in here, which is really important to have, especially then you don't have to put your mouth on somebody else's mouth who might be vomiting or bloody or worse. So yeah, all the important things that you want to have. Mostly the idea in here is to stop somebody from bleeding and give yourself the opportunity to have a body substance isolation. So I've got gloves and then that CPR mask. And if you guys are really curious, let me know and I can go through the medical kit. And I'm getting a new one this month. So medical kit and then repair kit. I got an extra beanie, just especially I'm bald. It's good to have a beanie, extra beanie when you're bald. So then here's my rescue. No, I wouldn't call this rescue. This is my repair kit. So then here's my repair kit. I've got lots of nice things in here that hopefully you can see from there. So I got another lighter. I've got another lighter in a baggie just in case something gets wet. So having fire important out here. I've got an emergency shelter blanket. So emergency blanket, maybe not shelter, emergency blanket there. I've got some hand warmers. I actually have more hand warmers ready to go in the hip pocket of this pack too. I forgot about those. Oh, and I gotta feel through that too. All right, so a couple more things. So hand warmers in the repair kit, another one. I've got quite a lot. So altogether, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 hand warmers on me. What did I already have? I already had 3 ski straps, and here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So I've got 8 ski straps in total. Ski straps I really like and they're important. And then I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 8 big, fancy, strong zip ties. These are 14 inches. And it doesn't show what their strength is here, but these are supposed to be the really strong ones. Oh, tensile strength, 75 pounds. So pretty strong. These can be great. Ski straps can be really great for boot problems, sometimes even fixing binding problems. Zip ties are good for almost everything, especially boots and putting back anything that breaks. I have got an extra bail here for a skin, so that would be more when I'm guiding uphill stuff. I've got a bunch of really strong, very tangled twine here. That could be good for fixing a variety of things. I've got some fire starter here. So this probably doesn't help that much in Alaska because we're generally above tree line, but you never know. These are basically little pieces of foam soaked in kerosene. So this could be something that could help you out a lot if you needed to start a fire. And then I've got, in here I've got baling wire, I've got some more cord, and I've got a sewing kit. I'm a huge fan of a sewing kit. I haven't used that many emergency sewing kit situations, but I sew a lot. I do a lot of sewing. I'm a bit of a seamstress. All right, so that is the repair kit. And then a couple of things that I did forget that are left in here. I showed you my radio in the beginning, just on the outside. Here's what it looks like on the inside. These aren't that light, but they work well. And of course, I've got my probe. So this is 340 centimeters. This is a guide probe. And I can't tell you how many times in Alaska with 340 centimeters, which has got to be 12 plus feet, I did not hit the bottom. The snowpack is really deep in Alaska. Very impressive. And I've got that's BCA. I've got a BCA shovel with a nice extension. So this is a great thing. You have to have a Beacon Probe shovel, right? And then I've got a snow saw. This is a nice snow saw from BCA. And they make a strong snow shovel. They also dropped me recently, so if you know any Avalanche products that want to work with snow brands, let's do it. And let me look. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it, folks. So that is everything that I keep in my heli-ski guiding backpack and everything that I have on my body. And then I guess the last thing might be, if people are curious about the skis, I ski on these Scott Pure 115 underfoot. They're 189 long, and I use the Look pivot binding that goes to 15 din. And just regular poles, the poles that I ski with every day. And it's always really important to have a ski strap. I got this ski strap at Mammoth Mountaineering Supply. Good spot. So yeah, these skis have worked really great. Big, strong skis, what you want. I recommend about 115 underfoot for somebody my size. I'm 6'1", 165. And that's it. That's everything that I keep on my pack, and it's damn heavy. And I'm excited now to go down to Tioga Pass in Yosemite and have a light pack. But this is what we do. This is what we carry out here in Alaska. Thank you for checking out the channel and checking out this video.